Was the Annabelle movie pure fiction, or was Annabelle truly horrifying as depicted? Did a demon truly possess the doll? Was Annabelle a real person? Hi everyone, and welcome to Obscurefy, where we dive into true crime, mysteries, and everything that goes bump in the night. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and bell notification to get more of our creepy content. Today, we will be taking a look at the infamous doll, Annabelle, and how this innocent-looking Raggedy Ann doll became the source of so much evil and horror. We all know the Annabelle franchise. Directed by John Leonetti, written by Gary Dauberman, and produced by Peter Safran and James Wan. This was a film that left most of us sleeping with our lights on, clutching at our pillows. Annabelle is a prequel to the 2013 film, The Conjuring, and the second installment in the Conjuring universe franchise. The film was inspired by a story told by Ed and Lorraine Warren, two renowned demonologists. In the film, a husband, John Form, presents his expectant wife, Mia, with a rare vintage porcelain doll. That night the couple awakes with a disturbance. Their next-door neighbor, the Higgins, is murdered during a home invasion. When Mia calls for the police, the intruders moved onto their home. Both Mia and John were attacked. Upon arrival, the male intruder was shot and killed by a police officer. The female intruder committed suicide while holding the newly bought Annabelle doll. In the days following the attack, a series of malevolent events occurred in the Form residence. The film plays out the history of the doll and is linked to satanic cults and demons. In the end, the doll and demon disappear and the pair never saw them again. The film ends with a mother buying the Annabelle doll in a hobby shop for her daughter. However, some parts of the film were pure fiction. The true story of Annabelle begins in a hobby store in the 1970s. When a mother buys a Raggedy Ann doll and a calico dress for her daughter, Donna, as a birthday present. Donna was a nursing student ready to graduate college. At the time, Donna was sharing a small apartment with her roommate Angie in Hartford, Connecticut. Within a few days, Donna and Angie started to notice something was not quite right with the doll. The doll seemed to be shifting around. The movements were subtle and confined to the bed where Donna had left the doll. Her arm would be in a different position than what Donna left her. But soon, it quickly escalated to the doll being in a different room entirely. There were instances where the doll would appear back in Donna's room with her door shut. Oftentimes, they found the doll with its arms folded and legs crossed. On other occasions, they found the doll standing on its feet, leaning against the dining room chair. On one occasion, they found the doll kneeling, which was peculiar, because if they tried to make the doll kneel on its own, it would just fall over. On one occasion the pair were eating at their breakfast nook, when the doll's two flimsy cloth arms levitated onto the table. But things started to get ominous. When Donna came home one afternoon, she found a little message on parchment paper that read "Help us," and another message that read, "Help Lou." What makes the message even more disturbing is that neither Donna nor Angie had parchment paper in their apartment. Lou was the fiancé of Angie who had been living with them since the doll's arrival. Lou was not fond of the doll, so much so that he told Donna that there is something very sinister about the doll. One evening, Lou awoke suddenly from a deep sleep. He realized he was unable to move any part of his body. He saw the Annabelle doll at the edge of the bed by his feet and watched as the doll slowly glided up his leg and over his chest. In minutes, the doll had begun to strangle him until he blacked out. He woke up the next morning convinced the experience wasn't a dream. These horrific disturbances had been going on for a little more than a month. One afternoon upon coming home, Donna found what looks like blood on the back of the doll's hand, and 3 drops of blood on the doll's chest. Terrified, Donna made contact with a medium pleading for help. The medium arrived the next day to perform a séance. With both girls present and the doll, she made contact with the entity plaguing the home. She went on to explain that the land their apartment building was built on what used to be an open field. A young girl aged around 7 years old, was found dead in a car crash in those fields. This little girl's name was Annabelle. That is how the name Annabelle came to be. Being nurses with loving and caring natures, they felt sorry for the little girl who was found all alone in a field. So they decided that Annabelle can stay, and gave Annabelle their permission to move into the doll. A couple of weeks passed, and Angie and Lou were preparing for a trip. Lou was embarking on the very next day when they heard rustling noises coming from Donna's room. However, Donna wasn't home. He stood at the closed door and waited for the noise to stop. He turned on the light and saw the Annabelle doll laying on the floor in the far corner. He walked over to the doll to pick it up, but as he reached for the doll, he had a sense that someone was behind him. He spun around, but only to see no one was there. In an instant he doubled over, grabbing his chest, which was now bleeding. Later, he discovered 7 claw-like scratches on his chest. The scratches were hot like burns, 4 of them horizontal and 3 vertical over his chest, but healed rapidly and were gone in 2 days. Donna soon realized that Annabelle is not an innocent little girl. Donna made contact with an Episcopal priest named Father Hagen, who then contacted his superior Father Cook. Father Cook immediately contacted Ed and Lorraine Warren, 2 paranormal researchers. Edward and Lorraine Warren were paranormal investigators and authors associated with prominent cases of alleged hauntings. Ed was a self-professed author, demonologist, and lecturer. Lorraine professed to be clairvoyant and a light trance medium. The pair worked very closely together. Upon hearing the story of Donna and Annabelle, the Warrens convinced Father Cook to perform an exorcism on the apartment to cleanse the home and bless Donna, Angie, and Lou. The Warrens agreed that Annabelle would be safer in their possession. Before leaving, the Warrens both agreed that it would be best to take the back roads home, worried if they took the main highways that Annabelle would find a way to cause an accident. Sure enough, the Warrens were plagued with car troubles the whole way home. The power steering failed, the engine of the car kept stalling, and the brakes failed. The car problems stopped once Ed sprinkled the Annabelle doll with some holy water. Once Ed and Lorraine got home, Ed placed the doll on his desk, thinking she would be safe there for a little while. But it wasn't long before she showed what she was capable of. Annabelle was seen rising from Ed's desk and levitating on multiple occasions. From both Ed and Lorraine's accounts, the doll was found in different rooms all around their home. They would put her in one room but quickly be found in another. After weeks of the disturbance, Ed and Lorraine called a priest. However, the priest didn't take the accusations seriously and even went as far as to say that they could not hurt him, because it is just a simple doll. This was an error of judgment. As the priest was driving home from the Warrens, he got in a car accident. His brakes had failed. As a result, his car flipped over and was completely written off. Although he was injured badly, he did survive the ordeal. The Warrens decided to build her locked glass case to prevent her from getting free and roaming in their home. And beneath this glass case is an inscription that reads, "Warning. Positively do not open." Since then, the Annabelle doll has been in Ed and Lorraine Warren's Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut, which is open for a tour. One day a young man and his girlfriend came to the Occult Museum on his motorcycle for a tour. As Ed Warren was conducting the tour, the man started to mock the Annabelle doll, while doing so tapping the glass of the case the doll was enclosed in. He then proceeded to challenge the doll to put scratches on him like it supposedly did in the past on a man named Lou. Ed had no choice but to kick him out of the museum. Roughly 3 hours later, the young man lost control of his motorcycle and hit a tree. He died instantly, and his girlfriend was badly injured and remained hospitalized for a little over a year, but she did survive the accident. Another incident occurred with a detective. During an investigation, a detective touched the Annabelle doll and felt a force overcome him. According to Ed and Lorraine Warren, he never spoke of what exactly happened to him. According to sources, he soon resigned from his position, moved across the country, and was never heard from again. The museum was open to the public for viewing, but with time the museum restricted only to a limited number of visitors who wanted to learn, instead of taunting the entities. After the death of Edward Warren on August 23, 2006, Lorraine and her son-in-law, Tony Spera, attended the occult museum. However, after the death of Lorraine Warren on April 18, 2019, the Warrens' Occult Museum was declared permanently closed to the public. There were rumors on Twitter that the haunted doll had escaped the museum on August 14, 2020. Soon after the posts went viral, Tom Spera released a YouTube video, I will link that video above, if you would like to see it, that said Annabelle was in the museum and had not escaped. Currently, the doll is still housed in a glass case in the Warrens' Occult Museum. Hopefully, that is where she stays. And that is the true story of the haunted Annabelle doll. Thank you so very much for watching this video. If you would love to see more of our content, hit that subscribe button and bell notification not to miss any of our new videos. Until then, stay curious.